It's showtime.
Hey guys, Django Fett here. This is part 11 and part 2, which is going to be the final part in Dantooine. So right now we are saving this droid, who is the droid we were supposed to save right now by the lady, because she was missing the droid.
That was not that bad compared to what I had to endure. That would be one way. I'm afraid my owner became a bit too... She tried to treat me as a...
Ugh. She's crazy.
You don't want to know. She is obsessed. She rarely sees... She was becoming more and more insular. In fact, that was... I think it would be best if I... Please. But why? You're right. I must not think she must be frantic. I must pretend that.
So we do not get light side points for that, surprisingly. So now we're at the Kinrath Caves, and this is where we can actually go and get some crystals for our lightsabers. So we'll have to fight these things, Kinrath. The cave is literally right next to where we found the droid, so I figured why not do this as well and show you guys the crystals that I got. So we can acquire lightsaber crystals at random parts and destroy these random eggs and actually receive some stuff too. I didn't even realize that for the longest time, that if you destroy that, you can actually receive some crystals and stuff like that. So definitely have to destroy the eggs. So Dorak always has some interesting things to say, so I definitely want to hear him and listen to him what he has to say about the history.
The rise of the Sith. There are important... Of course, I could not tell you the entire history of our... Instead, I will begin 40 years ago with the war...
If you want to know more about these stories and not just listen to him, I recommend you check out the Tales of the Jedi series if you haven't already. Just incredible stuff. You can learn about the ancient, the Jedi Order, and the Sith.
Our own order severely weakened. For 20 years, we struggled to rebuild.
And this is, I mean, Tales of the Jedi is what Knights of the Republic is really based off and expanded upon in video game form.
History is an intricate weaving of many events. 20 years ago, the Mandalorians, aware that the Republic was in a weakened state, began conquering small worlds on the Outer Rim. They were careful to choose only planets outside.
This is really like a fast history lesson. It doesn't even really go in depth with Exar Kun and the shit that he did.
As long as the Mandalorians avoided planets that were members of the Republic itself, there would be no retaliation. Well, you can hardly blame the Republic. The memory of war was fresh in everyone's mind. Nobody was eager to relive the horrors in a campaign against the Mandalorians. But in the end, it was unavoidable. The Mandalorians stockpiled resources from their conquered worlds, preparing for a massive assault. 7 years ago, they launched a simultaneous attack, and the Senate had no choice but to retaliate with the entire Republic fleet. The Mandalorian Wars had begun. The Republic petitioned the Jedi Council for aid, but there were many factors to consider before we allowed. While the Jedi Council preached patience, there were many among our order who were eager for us to join the battle.
I feel like the Jedi were really wrong about this whole situation. I think Revan and Malak were right about it, even though they did fall. I really feel like the Jedi Masters were wrong about, oh, we shouldn't be involved with all this and with the Mandalorian Wars and stuff like that. I really feel like they should have gotten involved from the beginning. And if they actually did it from the beginning, there wouldn't have been this conflict with Revan and Malak as a possibility. Instead, they were just arrogant and decided not to go into war.
Maybe they found previously undiscovered hyperspace routes to the ends of the galaxy. Nobody knows for certain. 3 years ago, Revan and Malak returned at the head of a massive invasion fleet. Revan had assumed the title of Sith Lord. The hero had become a conqueror. Some of the ships in the Sith fleet are those that were under Revan's command during the Mandalorian Wars, but many more are of an alien design we've never seen before. The source of this massive fleet is one of the many things about the Sith we cannot explain. It seems impossible to have created it in such a short time, yet we cannot deny its existence. The source of the Sith soldiers is unfortunately much. With each conquest, thousands. For 2 years, the Sith were all but invincible. Fortunately, Bastila and her battle meditation allowed the Republic to win a few key. In desperation, we set a trap for the Dark Lord. Bastila was with the strike team that tried to capture Revan, as you probably know. She was there at Revan's end. That was nearly a year ago. Still, his fleet can. Your confidence is admirable, but Revan's tale shows us how even the greatest of Jedi. May the Force.
Okay, so now we're gonna see Zar. Durak
well,
always has some amazing things to say, so I might have to come back to this planet again and see what he has to say.
Juhani, she struck her master in anger during her training and injured her greatly. But it was Quatra's choice to test Juhani this way. Juhani has been redeemed. Congratulations, apprentice. Or should I say, congratulations, Padawan. You have proven yourself worthy of joining the Jedi.
It is good to see Juhani has returned to the way of the light. Your training is now complete, Padawan. When we heard of the ruins in your dreams, Master Dorak recognized it as one of a series of ancient structures here on Dantooine. This one in particular, we sent a Jedi to investigate, but he has not returned. The Force is guiding you through your visions. It may be the secret to stopping Malak. We do not know. Is there anything else? I knew Revan as a promising young pupil. Revan was strong in the Force, but also headstrong. Many of the young Jedi admired Revan, including Malak. When Revan set off to challenge the Mandalorian, and when Revan felt... Revan was always the more powerful of the pair. When Revan fell, we had hoped the Sith threat was ended. But Malak quickly assumed Revan's role. You should speak to Master Dorak after this council. As chronicler of this academy, now Malak leads the Sith Armada against the Republic. Hate and vengeance drawing him ever further down the dark path, fueling his power. Only you and Bastila. The way ahead will be difficult for young Bastila.
I demand justice! The Central family is a blight upon
The Council will look into this matter, Mr. Matale. You must be patient. Your accusations have no proof.
Mistake! My son Shen...
There are other possible...
Ah, you Jedi are good for...
As dangerous as the threat from Darth Malak and the Sith may be, we Jedi cannot simply abandon. Should you have time, Padawan?
If Shen Matali is not returned to his father, it may ignite a savage...
Your study and training are important, of course. But the Jedi...
It is in the real world that we truly prove ourselves.
The task has its own importance. It may also serve to divert our minds for a short time. Something which carries its...
I must congratulate you on your actions. You have saved Juhani and brought her back.
Greetings, young Padawan. As chronicler of the... You should ponder the history. This facility is a training academy. The archives here are restricted. The pursuit of knowledge is a no... You should ponder the history. Revan's tale shows us how even the greatest of Jedi... May the Force be...
Your training is now complete, Padawan. When we heard of the rule, we sent a Jedi to... The Force is the secret. The way ahead will be...
How can I help? It was less of a dream and more of a vision the two of us shared. But I am... With luck, we will. I would rather not rely on such visions to guide us. Are you wondering why we shared the vision? To the first, I can only repeat the answer that the Council gave us. Our fates are linked, and for two as strong as we are in the Force, that as to the second, I truly don't have an answer for. I don't know. Believe me, I certainly don't find the prospect of being joined to you enjoyable.
Damn. You'd have turned me down like that. God damn.
Please,
well, thanks a lot.
forgive me. I did not mean to imply that you were repulsive in any sense of the word. That we shared something so personal is just not something I'm used to. What would you like to know? Perhaps because we desired to. Perhaps because they came. That would not be my first choice either. But we dreamed about Revan and Malak either because we were meant to. As you wish.
Yeah, what do you want? I was one of the best youth warriors in the clan Ordo in my time. No one in those days we were sweeping young Mandalores would. We were still recovering from the war we fought with the Sith. We were not yet strong enough to fight the Republic again. We needed to train another generation. We would travel from world to world and descend on it in our basilisk war droids. I remember it well, orbiting high above a placid world, its defenses just stirring. As was tradition, I remember sitting there in my armor, linked directly with a basilisk thrumming beneath me. Every new warrior has to fear, to understand how to beat.
And that's when the Mandalorians had to adapt from that situation after being beaten, and had to become bounty hunters and mercenaries, and had to incorporate themselves in Mandalore, the planet itself. So they would learn that the hard way years later. Years upon years upon years later. And I have to say, Candace always has the best stories out of everyone here, in my opinion. I think he just really goes in depth and in detail about just going down in the Basilisk War Droid and plunging into his first combat. I think it's just excellent writing all around and excellent voice acting by the voice actor himself. Okay, since we saved Juhani, she thanks us. She's actually the girl who, if we killed Juhani, she would fall down the dark side, but she's thanking us, so that's great.
Because I have spoken to the council, and they have helped me. Quatra's injuries were not so severe as I first believed. I was foolish to believe I could harm a master such as she with my clumsy effort. The fierce confrontation between us was nothing more than part of my training. Quatra wanted me to understand.
So she's a Cathar, so they're actually quick to anger, more so than any other type of Jedi. That was evident in the Tales of the Jedi series. I forget who that was, but she was also a Padawan with Exar Kun. But they are quick to.
After our last battle, Quatra had nothing when I left. Quatra knew her work with me was done. With your help, I have passed this difficult trial. The council now feels.
Giving you a second chance like this is a clear sign of weakness. Sometimes I find it.
This has been a painful lesson, Juhani, but it seems you have learned it well. I am certain you will be a credit to the Order.
I do not know what the council has in store for me, but...
Okay, so now we're at the Matali estate.
I've come from the Jedi Council. Master Matali.
My protocol droid tells me you are... Though I think your time would be better spent interrogating... I have already told my story to the Council. Many years ago, I brought my family here to Dantooine to escape the crush of humanity on the... Soon after we settled here, the Sandrels arrived. The injustices the Sandrels have committed against the Matalis are far too numerous to name. But recently I discovered... I have no idea what nefarious purpose lay behind their arrival. My own security droids destroyed...
At least you're efficient.
It was shortly after this incident that Shen, my only son and heir to the Metali, obviously Nurik, the unscrupulous head of the Sandral clan, has abducted my... The only resolution... Why does the Council... I am a man of the world, Jedi. I know how... I will present the credits directly. Nevertheless, my offer still stands. 1,000 credits for Shen's safe return. Eventually, I will take whatever action is necessary to rescue my son, until you find Shen.
And this is the guy who's causing the trouble with the with all the people. So I actually failed this like twice, I think. So I set up some landmines. It actually didn't go as planned at all. I don't think they even fell for it. Or, yeah, they didn't even approach me, so I had to approach them again. So this is my a failed combat attempt to fight them. Well, I did end up beating him, but it was weird. Also, I forgot that I changed Bastila's lightsaber color to green for some reason. Also, why do Mandalorians have all like the high power attacks? And they just do so much damage. Just running around trying to find a way to beat this guy. But this guy is responsible for all the injustices in Dantooine, and this is the guy that killed. This is the guy that killed the girl, the innocent little girl too. Now, if you bring Canderous, he'll say, "Yes, now it's a real fight," and that's it. The guy actually doesn't even reply back to that. So, he does have some lightsabers, so that's nice. He did kill some Jedi, I guess. So I will take that stuff. Talk to this guy.
Have you found the Mandalorian raiders yet?
Yes, I killed his leader.
Thank you, young master. My daughter can now, I think, rest in peace. Here is the reward No, please take it. This pitiful... Again, I thank you. I will be sure to tell the council of your great...
Okay, so now we're back doing the Matali quest.
My protocol droid. I brought my family here to find peace and safety. This guy isn't telling us something. He might even be lying. I trust you will show yourself out. If not, my security droids will be sure to deal with you.
You are here from the council, are you? My name is Rahasia. Nurik is my father. He has not been himself since Cassius disappeared. He is mad with grief, and he is convinced the Metales are responsible. He's not thinking rationally.
Alright, so I gotta search through all of this whole estate, go through all the doors, find some stuff, and then find this guy.
My father has kidnapped Shen Metale. He is holding him prisoner here in the compound. He feels this is a way to get back at the Metales, a way to get even.
I see.
No, since Cassius went missing, my father has become unstable. I am afraid my father will simply... The Jedi Council does not have the authority to search our estate, and please, find Shen and rescue him before my father does something. Take this key. It will open and There are many security droids guarding the halls. Please find Shen.
Who are you? Rescue me. No. It's not my own safety. If I escape, If you can convince Rahe, who could imagine a Sandral?
So if you haven't figured out yet, these two are in love.
Thank you.
So you gotta make sure these two are safe
What are you
when
doing here?
escaping.
Shen can be so stubborn sometimes, but I know Shen would rather die than leave me here alone to face the wrath of my father.
So this is not over quite
You're
yet.
safe.
There's still some more to this.
Well, thank goodness you managed to escape.
It was all thanks to this kind Jedi that we managed to get this far at all. I thank you, Jedi, for all that you have done for us.
No, we know that you must have gone to great personal risk to get us out of the Sandral estate undetected. But surely we can...
And this is when it gets pretty funny.
There you are, Shen.
Father!
Mr. Matale!
Mr. Sandral!
This is like Nurig, Mr. Matale, Rahesia.
You had taken my Cassus from me long.
Alright, now I gotta calm these guys down and find a resolution to solve all this.
Please listen to him, Father.
Why should I listen to the Jedi? All you want is to remain with that Sandral harlot.
My daughter is not a harlot, Matale dog!
Our children don't know enough of what's good for them.
It's better to let older...
Alright, so I kind of messed up on this. There is a way to resolve this without having bad blood overall between these two. You could actually resolve this by having them both cooperate with one another, persuade them to like let this happen and stuff like that. But I went with kind of like the neutral option and let them go back to the Jedi Council, and these two are still kind of at odds. There is a third option where it's pretty freaking hilarious, where you can actually you can actually get both, you can provoke both of these two guys and shoot their kids and then shoot themselves. And that would be the dark path, and it's pretty effing hilarious. If you haven't searched that, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend you check it out. It's pretty effing hilarious.
Rahesia Sandral and Shen Matale have
Let's see what that council has to say.
Their love for each other.
I know what that's like, overly possessive parents.
And we learned that it was only by your intervention that they managed to escape here. While it is
I actually skipped through this really quickly, but while it is regrettable that the fences between the families were not repaired, it is good that these two young lovers can live their lives free of oppression. How something I dream of too.
Shen and Rahesia have been granted asylum here at the
Wow,
Enclave.
look at that. He congratulated me twice now. Look at that shit. That's awesome, man. And he is usually the ruthless one.
It is the way of the Jedi to...
With that being said, let's get on to the temple and find out what Revan and Malik found out. So I'll have to go through this temple. There's two keys, two consoles I have to get to, but they have some incredibly powerful droids I have to beat. And then once I beat them, I can access those consoles. But he's saying he's part of the master race, almost, of the Rakata.
I recognize this language as well. It's an archaic variant of the Selkath It must be referring to Revan.
Now, there is a reference to this actually saying that, oh, we actually recognize you and you actually came by here before. It's very slight, it's very vague, but he does say that. This droid actually mentions that, so you kind of like recognize the pieces of where it lays out for when your big character reveal is shown towards the end.
If this is true, then this droid is nearly fine. These builders must have been in the years before the Republic.
So this droid has a lot of information he's providing us about the builders and the empire of the Rakatans.
The droid is obviously... Our vision was clear. We saw Revan and Malik speak. Maybe the droid has more information we can use. The droid must be talking about poor Nemo. The Council sent him here to... Revan and Malik unlocked the sealed door and uncovered. We have to find out what they uncovered. We have to find a way to unseal these doors to learn more about the Starforge.
Huh?
What can I... do?
Sure.
So I have to go to these areas, fight these droids, which will take forever, which I will show right now, and then I will access the console. So to access it, you just have to talk to it, actually. It's kind of weird. And then you have to solve this puzzle. 3 life-giving. I don't even know what a Boral is. It sounds familiar, but I have no idea. So that's the life. There's the other one, which is part of the death part. Now, if you fail this, you would have to face that droid again. Another one of those droids. And I do not want to do that, so I had to reload the save at least once or twice during this.
This must be what Revan and Malik found when they entered this temple. This must be where their journey down the dark side began. This is a map. Some sort of intergalactic navigational chart. Revan and Malik must have used this to lead them to the Starforge. We could use this map to follow their path and find the Starforge ourselves. But we must be wary. They may have laid... I don't know. But Revan and Malik were very interested in finding it. It must be a tool of some type. Or maybe a weapon. Perhaps the But I think this map might be the key to finding the star. See this world here?
So I have to go to all of those worlds in order to find the Starforge pieces. And once we have all the pieces, then we can find out where exactly the Starforge is. So we have to go to planet by planet by planet, which will take some time.
There doesn't seem to be anything indicating... I was thinking that too. This map can't take us to the Starforge, but I know that Revan and Malik visited Korriban at least once. Perhaps they discovered something more there. They may have found something on each of the other worlds that completed this map. Maybe if we find all the pieces, they'll lead us to the Starforge. We must inform the Council of what we've discovered. They must decide our next course of action.
Alright, let's see what Bastila has to say.
How can I help? No, not bothering me. Not exactly. I've been thinking about what the Jedi Council said. There is a bond between us. I do not dispute that. I can feel it, as I'm sure you can. The nature of that bond and its effect on our mission remaining quite...
I think you're more interested I think you're interested more than just a bond. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. I know you feel the same thing, girl.
Please. I'm a Jedi.
Oh, come on. Just because you're a Jedi doesn't mean you're attracted or you have feelings. I mean, come on.
I mean, I find your command of the Force intriguing, but my interest in you is purely academic.
Sure. Academic, yeah.
Our fates are strongly connected. So connected that a literal bond is... I saw your service records when you were transferred aboard the Ender Spire, but nothing beyond that. I know very little about you. I'd like to ask you some questions, given our relationship.
Is that some kind of clumsy come on? I love these replies, man. That these... Oh my... I just love them so much. When you talk to Bastila.
One the Jedi Council spoke of. If I was actually interested in you, rest assured I could come up with a much better...
Sure, you're pretty clumsy at this. Guess I touched a nerve there.
Touched a nerve? No. Getting on my nerves most... Are you going to answer my question?
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Why not?
These are simple questions. Nothing too intrusive. First, what...
So I can exaggerate greatly. I'm a hut in human form, or nothing extravagant. I'm just a soldier, or I'm just no more questions.
Good. On which planet were you born?
Dorelia. It's a remote system. Kashyyyk. I'm a Wookiee. Can't you tell? Dorelia. I don't even know what Dorelia.
Your current age is?
3,102. Healthy living, you know.
Yes. Well, the truth is, I was studying how you responded to my questions. Your reactions helped me judge you. This was a test for me to learn more about you. You were honest, which is good. And you treated this as a serious matter, which it is. This bond we share will shape both our destinies. It is not to be taken. But I imagine you've had enough questions for a while. So many things have happened to you since Taurus. It's probably... We can speak again later.
Ah, you have returned, young Padawan. Have you discovered what it was that Revan and This news of a Starforge is disturbing. Action is required, but we must not do so in haste. We must discuss recent events in...
We should consult the Jedi archives to see if there's any mention of the Starforge and what it might...
Return to your ship with Bastila, and we will summon you when... Padawan, you have done well in discovering the star map hidden within the ancient ruins. But there is more you must do in the battle against... We Jedi know victory over the Sith will not come through martial might.
I've consulted our...
Still, the Council are...
The star map in the ruins showed you 4 planets. Each star map is like... The Jedi numbers have been wrapped, yet if we send a company of... Secrecy is our best defense. Bastila will accompany you, for there is a... And Juhani has also...
Juhani nearly fell to the dark side.
Oh, okay, so that's a reference too, as a reminder to you of the dangers of the dark side. That's a nice little nod too. Didn't even notice that.
You may return here at any time.
You can leave whenever you wish. The sooner the better. The lure of the dark...
The fate of the galaxy. May the Force be with you.
Alright, so let's see what the lady has to say.
Thank you. I don't know what... Oh, it's just so... We're just gonna go... Don't worry. I'm...
Please.
It's the funniest things. Please kill me now, meme. Show up right now. Let's see what they have to say.
When I first met Shen, I feared our forbidden love was doomed.
Rahesia and I cannot thank you enough for what you... Rahesia and I can spend the rest...
Good luck.
Why do I feel like I'm like in their position at these two people? I don't know why. So this is really important. So I'm going to reference something from a Tales story, Star Wars Tales, because this guy is about to mention The Great Hunt. These were created during the Sith War with Exar Kun, in high levels, I guess. But there is a story called Shadows and Light in Tales number 23, which I do have right now, and expands upon the Great Hunt a lot more. It's one of the best stories ever. One of the highlights from the Tales series. It is canon. It deals with the Great Hunt in detail with 3 Jedi. 1 Jedi that goes to Kashyyyk, and 2 that go to Korriban. So once you actually go to those places and fight the Tentaract, you will find the remains of them there with the data pads. So it actually goes into detail, this comic issue. So it's really great stuff. I think it's one of the best stories ever in the Tales series. So I would definitely recommend this story in a heartbeat. So the Tentaract are really interesting creatures created from the Sith. So I thought they were created during the like Naga Sadow era, but it's actually past that point during the Exar Kun era. So it's interesting to see the Tentaract being these monstrous beings created from the Sith. And there's also the Leviathans as well, which I did review for that. So that is the Tentaract story, and that is it for Dantooine. We are done with Dantooine, guys. So the next planet we're going to go to is Tatooine, and from there, we'll see how it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.